Are you in a predicament of whether I should repair or replace a dryer? Well, I'm right in front of a dryer, and that's a conversation we often have here. And the big thing that most consumers need to look at is how old the dryer is, right? So if you have a dryer that's 7 to plus years old, you probably want to replace it because number one, parts get very costly. If you're not doing it yourself, you're going to have to pay labor. And a lot of times that's going to be at least half the cost of a dryer, and you still have a 7-plus-year-old dryer with one failure, which ultimately can lead to another. Plus the cost of the dryers, depending on what brand you have or how many features you have, whether you have a traditional dryer with the controls on the back or if you have a front-load dryer, these type dryers with the controls on the back most of the time aren't worth repairing. But if you have a front-load dryer with the controls on the front and you have a little bit better model, you may want to consider repairing that, especially if it doesn't get to the point of being half as much of a new one. So those are things to consider. Also, how fast you need it done, right? So if you have availability of parts, you can do it yourself, you may want to repair it. But if you have to depend on a service company and maybe parts aren't as easily available, you may want to look to replace that because you'd be able to get that done a lot quicker. So those are things you want to consider whether you want to repair or replace a dryer.